he killed. There were those 6 that I knew about for sure. Close enough to blow their last breath in my face.
One of my good friends produced a documentary film called The Last White Hope, America's Drug War. You heard him on this program, Kevin Booth, who's been winning awards for this film. And I just feel like my guest today thinks I'm the enemy for some reason. I don't know. Maybe I haven't smoked enough pot today. But I'm not, Mark. I'm not your enemy. I'm actually on your side. I just think you're so used to being persecuted that you put me
ever. And no one who smokes just marijuana will ever get lung cancer or respiratory cancer.
Well, do you know that a study just came out on that said marijuana actually helps you to prevent lung cancer because I guess it does something to the blood vessels in your lungs that make it so you don't retain cancer.
Nicotine is a vasoconstrictor, so even if you chew tobacco, you will get cancers and lesions of the mouth because it cuts off the flow of blood and oxygen to your tissues. When you use cannabis, it does the opposite effect. It opens up your ventricles, arteries, veins, and delivers more blood and oxygen. So when you take a big bong hit, you are delivering THC to areas of your lung lining that normally wouldn't see oxygen or THC. The THC attacks free radicals, it attacks old tumorous cells, it attacks precancerous cells and cancerous cells, and then while doing that, it delivers more oxygen to the cell tissue that it normally wouldn't even get because it's opening up all the arteries and veins. So it's just the most wonderful thing for your lungs, and it's a great thing for your brain. Humans have a cannabinoid receptor in the brain and in the body, so we can feel its mental effects as well as physical effects. And when you don't use it, you lose it. The more people who get myopic and old, as people get older and they become more conservative, more narrow-minded, and more intolerant and more fearful of young people, it's because they're not smoking enough pot. You've got to feed that cannabinoid receptor. If you don't want to get Alzheimer's, smoke pot. No one, I repeat, no one in North America has been detected with Alzheimer's disease who smoked a lot of pot. No one has ever gotten lung cancer, ever, from smoking 35 years of pot. I've been smoking more marijuana than any human alive. On parties and places and rallies, I often start 300 to 400 joints. I've been smoking 29 years. I'm a late bloomer. I started at age 22. And I've been smoking till 50 now, and I'm in outstanding health.
Well, you're a great specimen. I started at 9, and you see what happened to me, okay? This show is a perfect example of that. Look, I got to get these callers in, Mark, before we run out of time. Let's go to Tristan in California. Tristan, you're on Deadline Live with Marc Emery. Quick comment, please.
Hi. I support smoking pot, even though I don't do it myself, and I'm completely against the drug war. And I'm just wondering why your guest talks so much about being persecuted and talking about freedom, yet he persecutes a whole group of people, and he's spewing hate speech against Christians and being a bigot.
No, I demonize.
No, you are. You're against a whole group of people.
No, I demonize Christian fundamentalists. I didn't persecute them over.
Oh, okay.
In other words, I said bad things about Christian fundamentalists because I regard them as being responsible for much of the horrible things that are happening in America today. But it doesn't mean I advocated that you be rounded up or jailed. Like fundamentalists are often advocating the pot people be rounded up. You're trying to make a moral equivocation here where none exists.
There are a few potheads that do bad things too, but that doesn't mean all of you do. You can't put us all into one group because you don't like a few of us.
You know what? You can.
You can't do that. Wait. Let me speak. You can't do that to black people. You can't do that to women. You can't do that to a whole group of people. If you want tolerance, then you need to demonstrate tolerance.
I am tolerant to anyone who's tolerant towards me, but Christian fundamentalists in the United States have been spearheading the war in Iraq, spearheading the war on drugs, spearheading the war on culture, stacking courts.
Those aren't actually Christians that are doing that. They're phony Christians.
Well, they may be, but they have the levers of power. And to me, if a person calls himself a Christian fundamental and does something bad, it's up to other Christians to renounce and denounce that person. And I don't see that happening.
Paul is a Christian.
I'm sorry, Jack. I'm a peace protesting Christian. Okay. you may do some bad things, but you don't represent your whole group.
Thanks,
actually,
Tristan. Thanks, Tristan, for the call. We got to move on. Thank you. I appreciate that. Let's go to Dave in Montana. Dave, thank you for holding. You're on the air with Marc Emery.
Hey, I salute you, Mark. And the only reason why the cannabis is against the law, because it will feed you, clothe you, house you, and fuel you.
Absolutely.
And
no doubt about it.
And God, and true Christians know that God gave us permission.
The sacrament.
Genesis 1:29.
Take all
God
these
says, I give you all the seed-bearing plants. Cannabis is one of the most producing seed-bearing plants on this planet. And also in Genesis 9:3, Noah got off the boat. The third thing God told him is that I give you, concerning the green vegetation, I give it to you all. And then, being an American, I have certain unalienable rights given to me by my Creator. And among these, and that means that I'm allowed to farm, and I may use one of the best seeds that the Creator has ever given mankind. He has also put a receiver in your brain to receive the molecule of this plant. It is the most nourishing plant that you could eat. And
Dave, you listen to this show. Why do I feel that it's such an antagonistic interview when I've been trying to help this guy?
I'll tell you why. Because I talk about it a lot, and a lot of people, I think you just want to make light humor. You want to make the connection, so you make.
Well, I'm doing a talk radio show here in 4:20 Central Time. I mean, I might have a different opinion.
No, just listen. This is a very serious subject,
I can get rotted.
And there's like 1 million people in jail for this. There's another 300,000 clogging up our court system.
We know all of that, and that's the problem. Thank you for the call, Dave, man. I love you, brother. Rod in Texas, quick comment, final word. Go for it. 30 seconds.
Yeah, I have a suggestion. I think we ought to rescind statute of limitation on all drug use, so we can put all these people who did youthful indiscretions like Bill Clinton and Betty Ford and everybody else,
Barack Obama,
in prison, and the whole country would be in prison.
Right.
Okay?
Thank you for that.
How does that sound?
Mark, man, I appreciate what you're doing up there. I wanted to do this interview to try to help you, man. And
hey, by the way, my brother's a Christian Anglican minister, and my father and nephew are all soldiers. So, we come from a religious and a military family. So I'm against fundamentalism, not against people having a Christian belief.
We fight with them all the time here on this show, so I know where you're coming from. I'm not even a Christian, but a lot of my listeners are, and I respect that. Mark, good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Keep in touch, and hopefully everything will work out good for you. If you need something, you let us know. All right, tomorrow, folks, we'll come back with the guy from Boston. I booked these people. I don't know if they're going to show up. He is booked on the program tomorrow. You know him. You've seen him on YouTube. If you haven't, go check him out and see what you're about to get tomorrow. If you think this show is interesting, wait till you hear that one. I'll be back tomorrow. I've got to go do some business. Until then, I'm Jack Blood saying, as always, be bold, and mighty forces will come to your aid.